Hey y'all, it's Jordan today, and I thought I would do a little bit of FM type of synth sound to go along with your Electro House drums. It's a basic synth, but it can add a lot to your sound. So have a listen. Okay. Okay, so I thought it would be a good idea to cover FM synthesis. And so, actually, let me not create a new one. I'll get this out of the way. So that way we can create our new synth. Okay, so what it basically is, it's two Thors plugged into each other. There's a little bit of LFO wobbles that go in with it, but nothing too much that can't be explained. So we're going to create this. So right now I'm going to create a combinator. I'm going to insert a Thor, just a blank Thor. I'm going to turn the range down all the way down to 1, polyphonic down to 1 as well, and the release to 1. So that way we get this gliding of feel. I'm also going to send it to mono legato. So that way when you press a key and another key, it pitch bends smoothly to it. Okay, I'm also going to add the amp and the envelope all the way up. I'm going to change this on analog to an FM pair and do that for the same. Do the same for all three of these. I'm going to bring down the octave down 1. Gonna, for this one, and bring the carrier up to 4 and the mod up to 7. I'm also going to do for the second one, I'm going to bring it down 2 octaves. I'm going to just turn it up a bit and the mod up to 3. Now for the FM on the first one, I'm actually going to turn it about 93. The FM on the second one, I'm going to turn almost to the middle, so about 50. For the third one, we're going to actually set the mod to 8. And the octave down 2. The FM about 3/4 or so. About 3 o'clock. No, about 2:30 or so. 2 o'clock. And I'm actually going to send both of these through. And let's see, do I mess anything with the little pass? No, I don't. So I'm going to actually go down to the sources and choose LFO 1 3 times, I'm sorry. And I'm also going to have the audio input 1 and audio input 2. So that way when we copy the patch, we can just have it easily go in and out instead of messing with all the parameters beforehand. I'm going to not mess with the LFO at all because where it is right now, it's perfect. For LFO 1 destination, I'm going to set it to the oscillator FM amount and do that for the second oscillator and for the third. I'm going to set the first amount 62 or however. I'm not going to do a full sweep to where it's like, it just sounds like a mangled mess. We actually do not want that. So I'm actually going to set little parameters. Going to do the second one 37 and the third one 28. Now if we have a listen, it sounds pretty good right now, but it does need a lot of more detuning. So I'm actually going to hold Alt and drag it down so we have another copy. And so I can't talk today. I'm actually going to mess with these a little bit more so that way we get a bigger sound when we plug in, when we flip it over. So for the first one, I'm gonna have it down in another oscillator, another octave, I'm sorry. And I'm actually gonna change the carrier to 5. And I leave all the FM amounts the same. We're just changing the carriers and the mods so far. So for the second one, just turn it up a carrier. And for the third one, I'm going to turn this up to 8 and this to 3. I'm flipping them. I'm actually going to sync both of these. Okay, and I'm going to turn on the third filter so that way it goes through. And I'm going to make sure I turn this so that way it goes through. For the waveform on the LFO one, I'm going to turn it to tempo sync, and I'm going to turn it to 1/8. And I'm going to turn it to the rising. Yeah, no, to the down waveform. I'm going to turn a comb filter on. I'm going to turn it to a negative pass. And I'm going to turn it a little bit before halfway. Turn up the drive a bit. And for our sources, we're going to turn this to 90, LFO1. For LFO2, we're going to turn it to 77. And as well for the third one, 77 as well. Nope, or 78 should be fine. I wonder if I can hold Control or Alt. Nope, those don't do anything. So I can't get a finer degree. And I'm also going to turn on another LFO, turn it to 53, and turn it to filter frequency 1. So that way we're going to get a little bit more of a wobble sound, but not too present. So I'm going to flip this over now and take out the audio output 1 and put in audio input 1, audio output 2 to audio input 2. Cool. So now if we have a listen, it sounds where it should be, but I want it to be a little bit grittier. So I'm going to add an equalizer, and I'm going to do low cuts. And the parameter one, I'm just going to filter it to about the kick, 187. Gain all the way down, Q up a bit. Go up to 3.1 kilohertz. Turn the gain down and the Q up a bit. And the high shelf, bring down all the way. The gain up a bit and the Q off. Let's put it about 4. After this, I'm going to create a Scream 4 distortion. The creative effects. And I'm going to turn it to warp. And I'm going to turn the damage about just 1/4. And I'm going to turn P2 all the way up and P1 about 20 or so. Going to turn the body on, turn it to E. Turn the auto up a bit, the reso 1/4, and the scale halfway. I'm going to add a maximizer so that way our signals are intact. And usually I don't like to use a limiter because it squishes our synth a little bit too much. So I'm going to turn on soft clip, take the limiter off, pull back the gain a bit, and turn up the gain about 3. Now if we have a listen, turn on 4 milliseconds, sorry. Now if we have a listen, it should sound something like this. Let me compare it with the old one. I think I know what I did wrong. Okay, this is going to be a little bit hard to figure out, so I'm actually going to stop right now and figure out what I did. Oh, sorry, I'm an idiot. I forgot to turn up the amount on the N1 and N2. So let's do that. Turn it to 90 on both, and then we should have our sound. So this second patch we created is a little bit grittier. That's no problem. We can always take down the output. I'm sorry, the input. So that's how to create the patch. I'll try and cut out this as much as possible, but I'll even post the patch if you guys need me to. So that's it for Friday, for the end of the world or whatever. Actually, that's not true. Today are at 7 p.m. It's 4 o'clock where I live. By the time this uploads, it might be 7 o'clock, who knows. But 7 o'clock p.m. today, our vibrations will be in the 4th dimension, and we will get a 3rd DNA strand. As well as some disasters and some stuff like that. But that's always going to happen. Some people are going to get killed for no reason. That always happens. Anyways, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, comment, and link it. And also post in the comments what you guys need me to make or want me to research and try and make my own version of that. Thanks. You've been great.